Jeff and Jeremy in the Morning podcast brought to you commercial-free by another podcast. You've subscribed to ours, now subscribe to theirs. It's the Slow County Real Estate Podcast with Hal Swayze. When you're done with this, go listen to something that will actually enrich your life. California DRE 011111911.
That Mass today brought to you by our friends at Davis Water Conditioning, reminding you that forever chemicals are in our waters, and the FDA lists around 5,000 of them, but they have a way of cleaning them out of your water. Go to daviswaterconditioning.com to find out more.
How pathetic can some people be?
Right before the ship goes out, they do that really unnecessary security thing. And the captain's like, it's mandatory that you look on your car and you'll see where the rescue section is. Everyone, if you hear, that means the boat is in turmoil. However, it won't happen. We expect you in an orderly fashion. Okay. The objective of a boat is to get you wasted beyond belief. So yeah, you're gonna hear, like, oh, we gotta find our section. Everyone walk orderly. We've all seen Titanic. If you're on a cruise boat and you hear, look to whoever you're with and go, we had a nice run.
Dumbass of the day. 93.3 KZOZ.
What's that station called you're supposed to go to?
It's called the Muster Station.
The Muster Station.
And I remember we got yelled at once because I was like, wow, I think it was like maybe our second or third cruise. And I was like, oh, we've done this before. Let's just hang out here in the hot tub and see if they catch us. And they're like, this was me, my wife, and like another couple.
Sir, you need to get out of the hot tub right now.
They get on the loudspeaker. The 4 people in the back of the boat that are in the hot tub, we can't start the muster drill before you get up. And I'm like, oh my God. So we're like, of course, everybody's sitting there. It's in Tampa. It's super humid. Everybody wants to just get back and having fun. They can't until the 4 of us get out. We walk up dripping wet with drinks in our hands. I don't know.
It's like,
it wasn't.
Yep, there they are. Those
me.
are the 4 people that are going to fall overboard on the trip.
It wasn't me. I don't know.
How early do you get to the boat? Like, I remember the one cruise I went on out of Long Beach. It was a long one, like 7 or 8 days. I mean, we got on, and hell, I don't even think we got a drink or anything. We had to go to the mustard station. So you must have got on, you must get there early, start your vacation in the morning.
So what happens is, so my wife has to be on everything first. If it's a plane, if it's a boat, if it's a train, we've got to be there at least 30 minutes before that thing is even started up.
They're like swabbing the deck. What are you guys doing here already? We want to get in the hot tub.
So they're
before we have to do the mustard drill.
So that because the hope is that they'll have your luggage waiting for you in front of your room and you could go hang out in your room for a little bit. But I'm like, why do we do this? Why don't we just be the last ones on the boat? And then we can go through and do, we walk up, we do the thing, and then we're
go to your room and then you're good to go. Yeah.
I'm not risking missing the boat. That's what she says. I'm like, we have a 4-hour window, 4 hours. Like we could literally, if we left when they started boarding from San Luis Obispo, drove to Long Beach, we'd make it on time.
Our first stop was in Puerto Vallarta, and I woke up in the morning, and I told you this. I came out on my balcony. We had a balcony room, and looked outside, go, Mexico, looking for palm trees, just Mexico.
Yeah.
And then I look back, Walmart. I mean, the biggest Walmart building I have ever seen. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. It's like, ugh.
I hate
Walmart, but I didn't want to see that in Puerto Vallarta.
You got to cater to
But when we were leaving, I think it was Puerto Vallarta, yeah. This Cabo, we had a boat that took us in. We're leaving Puerto Vallarta. These people are running. They're waving their hands. They're like, wait. The boat has literally already dropped the ropes and pulled away. They're done. And they're like talking to somebody. And they're like pointing at a little boat, like, take us out to the boat. Like,
nope.
We're only 50 yards off the dock. But they're like, nope, that boat is, nope, you're done. So I understand her fear of missing. You don't want to do that. That's not what happened in our case in Dumbass of the Day. We go to Washington State. Jeff thinks it's because it's gray up there all the time and everybody's going crazy because they just feel closed in.
It's the two opposite spectrums. Washington and Florida and a little bit of Arizona. Extreme weather And people that are from Washington are like, what are you talking about? There's no extreme weather in Washington. There is extreme weather from the standpoint that it is cloudy.
You can go
from September
over 3 months
to the end of July.
There was a record when we were kids. I think it was 172 days
of measurable rain.
Sunshine. No. Without sunshine or blue sky.
Yeah.
It was gray for 172 days. You never saw the sky. I mean, you just saw clouds.
It's daunting. So I do feel like people snap and then they don't make the best decisions when they're like, oh my God, it's cloudy again today. I got to go do something crazy.
Yeah, these guys, husband and wife, I'm guessing, or maybe boyfriend, girlfriend, not sure, or just partners. But they were on the other side of Hood Canal Bridge, which is up on the peninsula of Washington State. When you look at it and you see that
it's always cloudy out there. Always
Yeah.
cloudy out there.
They decided to rob a shipping container. Now, here's what's weird about Washington, right? You would think shipping container full of jewelry is in like some kind of shipping yard, right? Nope. It's just on some guy's property. He just was keeping over $11,000 worth of jewelry
a lot of people do
and
that.
other things in his shipping container on his back 40
a lot of people do
out
that.
near the Hood Canal.
A lot of people do that. They use it as a storage shed.
Guy calls the cops because he hears the noise. He sees people in his thing. He runs out there. The doors are open. The jewelry's gone. He called the cops. They jumped in their SUV and took off. Now, to give you an idea what the landscape is like there, a lot of trees, big, tall trees. Looks like you're driving through the mountains. Very curvy roads. Apparently, they were trying to get away fast. The cops weren't chasing them. But when the cops found their SUV, it was on its side in a ditch. Didn't quite make it around the corner. So then they got out and ran on foot down to another person's property and grabbed their little dinghy. It looks like a dinghy like you would tow behind a sailboat.
Okay.
One of those square ones.
Yeah, probably like an 8-foot boat.
Yep,
Something
had
like
the
that.
paddles in there and everything. Let's go. We'll go. Seriously.
Little Livingston.
How fast can you row a boat across a huge bay? I mean, like you're going to
Not
stick out
fast
like
at
a
all.
sore thumb, right? Well, the other problem was they didn't check the plug. The plug has been pulled, so they started sinking.
You always pull the plug when it's not in operation. You should probably check that.
The video I wish I had is classic. The guy's in the back with one paddle trying to paddle. The other woman is in the front with like a coffee can trying to bail out the water, and he keeps hitting her in the head with the other paddle. He's like, "Hurry up! Hurry up!" In the meantime, the cops they've been sitting there for a half hour watching these two clowns. They got their drone up and they're just like watching them. Yep. All right, up there goes the boat. Now they're swimming. So they swam to shore and arrested
put the
them.
plug in it.
And you heard a little bit of this earlier, but here's one of the eyewitnesses.
It was pretty crazy. It was cold out there, the water. I mean, obviously they were desperate to get away. It was crazy. I mean, nothing like that happens around here. Wild morning on the bay.
I love
Everybody
people from
that
Washington.
lives on the water sounds like that woman.
And they look like this woman, too. Like
Frumpy.
showered, but no makeup. But probably been smoking cartons of cigarettes every week for her whole life.
Hair going
They also
everywhere.
look damp and just gray.
Mm-hmm. You become a product of your environment. You really do.
I tell you what, I really do believe the sunshine helps keep people
it's very important.
beautiful or just better looking
Come on,
than people
look
that
how-
sit in darkness there.
Look how good
for
we
half
look.
the year.
I mean, that's why we all wish they were all California girls.
Congratulations to these two thieves. I mean, for a number of reasons. I mean, number one, you should have never rolled your SUV when no one was chasing you, and you could have just drove away. And then for not checking the plug. You're Jeff and Jeremy.
Dumbass of the day. It's Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZOZ.
Hey, congratulations to
He's
the
like a troll.
49ers for some of the players finishing the game. I saw one of the linebackers. I forget his
God.
name.
Are you
he just left the
kidding
game.
me?
He didn't want to play. He went to the locker room. He's like, I'm done playing this game.
And I don't follow the 49ers that close, and either do the fan base based on the attendance last night. God, that was ridiculous. I tuned into that game. I'm like, where are all the people? A little bit of rain, and people are like, eh. The team went to the Super Bowl last year. They have aspirations to go to the Super Bowl, and half the people show up to the stadium. I mean, it literally looked like you were watching a 3-6 Rutgers team play Morehouse at 2-7. I mean, there was like nobody at the game, and the both teams didn't show up. I'm just going to say that both teams did not show up to score points. Thank God for field goal kickers. I wonder what
Randy Freeman off to a good start in Shave Jeremy's season. He's trying to win $200 in.
Lost
the
you.
poorhouse. The other one be right there. He picked the Rams, just like you did, and Patrick. But Leslie, who by the way couldn't make our call because she was under the weather.
Yes.
But then the next day saw 25 pictures of her partying at the poorhouse Christmas party the same
Maybe
night.
that's why she was under the weather. You ever think about that?
We got no. She partied later that night. She told us she couldn't make the call because she wasn't feeling good. She couldn't talk on the phone, but she could go party with everybody. Listen, I know she owns the bar, and sometimes you got to just step up and push it through.
Isaac Garendo.
We're just asking for 5 minutes.
Isaac Garendo was sprained his ankle, and he went out and played last night. Okay, Jeremy. So sometimes there's quick recoveries. I mean, you could, if you want to call what he did play. Yeah, not good for the San Francisco 49ers. De'Vndre Campbell, probably going to be cut from the
Just
team.
saying, if Leslie took her picks with us more serious, she might have made a better pick. She wouldn't have lost that game.
Kyle Shanahan in his post-game press conference said that
Go to class.
he asked De'Vndre Campbell to enter the game as a substitute for Dre Greenlaw on a play in the third quarter. And De'Vndre Campbell was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna. I don't feel like playing tonight." And they're like, "Okay, are you being serious?" And he's like, "Yeah, I just don't feel like playing." And so they're like, "Get out of here, then." So then he went to the locker room in the middle of the third quarter.
That is the guy. Yeah, De'Vndre Campbell. That was his name. Yeah.
And I gotta say, I've been talking with some Niners fans, and I don't follow the Niners very closely at all. I don't know what's going on.
You've said that a couple times now.
Well, I know, but I got cut off on completing the thought, so I just wanted to reset it up.
Okay.
They say that there are rumblings of Kyle Shanahan getting the axe. And I'm sorry, if you've lost the team to this point, where that was a crucial game last night, their shot at making the playoffs now is very slim. Swept by the Rams, split with the Seahawks. It's going to be tough for them to fight their way out of the bottom of the division. Lost to the Arizona Cardinals. I think they have one more game to the Arizona Cardinals later on, but that's in Arizona. It's not looking good for the 49ers. Do you think Kyle Shanahan should get fired or will get fired? Or do you think he can successfully chalk it up to be like, listen, we lost 5 running backs this year.
I'm going to take a page out of your book and say I don't really follow the 49ers. I did to start the season. I was so disappointed. I don't know if you fire a coach after one bad season, but obviously if guys aren't even going to go up there and play, which is weird. Aren't you under contract? Don't you have to play? How is it that you just say, I don't want to play and you leave? I mean, how does that work and you get a paycheck and you've signed a deal that you would play? I mean, I just don't understand. Now, if you're under the weather, if you're
De'Vndre
hurt,
Campbell's
I get it. But
like 31. Maybe he just doesn't feel like playing football anymore.
Well, then let him go. Cut him. I mean, if somebody did that and I was the coach, I'd cut him instantly. I don't care who you are. Like, that's not happening. You're done here. Go. Get out.
Well, I think he will be cut.
You're no longer a National Football League player, huh?
He will probably be cut today, I would imagine. If the 49ers were doing things right, they would cut him today. He's the second worst linebacker on the team based on a PFF score, which is some kind of metric that they use to.
Deanne writes in. She says Deanne writes in. She says there's no way they're going to make the playoffs. Yeah, no kidding.
No, I don't. It's a very long shot. A very long shot now. I mean, that game was so important for both teams, but I think it was more important for the 49ers than it was for the Rams. Now the Rams, I mean, to call a team that did
Who's
that.
number one in that division again?
The Seattle Seahawks. Those are the number. That's the first place team.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. They've been number one in the division most of the year. Right?
You may have heard of them.
Most of the season. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good division. It's the most entertaining division to follow. I don't know if the play is the best from any of the teams in the division. They all have their chinks in the armor, but it is fun because it's so competitive in the NFC West. or for the Seattle Seahawks. I guess it's the NFC best because they're the first place team as of now. They play a tough game on Sunday night. Green Bay Packers just missed the cut on the experts pick. There's a 3-point spread. Packers are favored by 3 in Seattle on Sunday Night Football. That's going to be a good one. People turn out for Sunday Night Football. All players turn out for Sunday Night Football. That's the marquee game of the week, right? This one should have been.
Yeah,
this one should have been.
Say so.
This one should have been.
It used to be Monday Night Football, but I would say Sunday Night Football has taken the reins away from Monday
This was
night.
4 field goals versus 2 field goals last night. And half the people filled the stadium. Like San Francisco, not just the 49ers should be embarrassed. The fan base should be embarrassed. The fan base did not show up to support their team because it rained. Oh, I don't want to go. It's raining. This is how soft the Bay Area is.
You know, there's 49ers fans that travel from here up there quite a bit.
Yes, and if they were in the stadium, good on them. Good on them. They did their part.
But I did see a lot of local 49ers fans that I know I've seen them at the games in the past when it was sunny and nice, asking around, hey, where's the 49ers bar in town? Because they didn't want to go because it was raining.
It's so wet in there. I don't want to go. Come on. Pull it together.
The Rams and the Hawks tied at 8
time.
wins. Cardinals and 49ers at 6 wins. Now, if Arizona drops this game this weekend, I guess there's a chance. I mean, they're playing New England. They're at home. And 97% of the Red Zone Nation is picking them.
97?
Arizona's not that great.
97%?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a big number.
Over New England.
That's a big number.
Stop. I don't know how people find my wife's phone number, but my wife is getting text messages from people trying to figure out the answer to question number 12.
Did she answer them?
No.
Good.
I said, don't answer.
Good. That's good.
I said, I don't know who it is. It doesn't matter. We don't be giving away answers. No giving away answers.
Oh, I see the post that you're talking about on Facebook that says, where are we watching the game tonight? Well, you could have drove up there and just walked into the stadium. They probably would have been happy to have you.
Hey, come on in. We'll give you a free soda and a hot dog. And got to put the work in. Text line is going crazy. I wonder if we could break this thing. That'd be great. I'm just watching, every second there's 10 text messages that come in.
They're working.
A lot of repeats. I can see a lot of repeats coming in. So we'll throw that number generator up. We'll have the computer grab that text coming up at 9:05, and we'll play the 12 Days of Christmas. Now, yesterday at the end of the show, didn't you said you were going to do something?
Yeah, I've been going back and forth with this over after making those comments yesterday. I was going to go find the 12th day and make it a podcast. And this was, I don't know if we really disclosed all that on the air. I know we talked about it off the air, but I think that so many people have worked so hard to try to find you. Didn't you say that somebody was text messaging your wife? I mean, for somebody to track down your wife and text message
more than one person,
and find out
How did you get her number?
And find out the answer. I don't even have her number. To find out the answer.
I don't know how people got her number. I mean,
people are crazy. People be crazy for the 12 Days of Christmas. But there were people that were answering it on the text line, and I was like, well, what if one of those people are the randomly selected people? I'd hate to just give it over to the populace before that. So if we don't get one today, if we don't get the correct answer in the 12th question today, then at some point over the course of the weekend, this is why you subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast on wherever you get your podcast. Just subscribe to it. You'll notice it'll pop. A random podcast will pop up in the 12 Days of Christmas. Okay. So, I mean, in the podcast. So the random podcast will pop up sometime over the course of the weekend. And then at that point in time, you'll know that you have the keys to the castle and you will get the answer to number 12 if somebody doesn't get it today. But I have a feeling somebody will get it today. So we'll see.
All right. Well, we got our buddy Wendy standing by.
Wendy?
What am I, Wendy?
Robin?
Robin.
I was Rhonda last time.
Do you?
I'm looking at the text line, Robin. And what were you last time?
You called me Rhonda last.
Yeah, Rhonda, because you're looking at the text.
Well, because I want you to help me. I need some help.
Line. See, distracted
I need some
talking.
help. No, the problem is I have the text line on one of the screens right in front of me, and I see everybody's names that are popping. Today it's Wendy. Last time it was Rhonda. And anyways, but we have Robin from Woods Humane.
I thought you were jumping.
I know your name.
I was excited. I thought you were jumping into the Frosty realm. I was like, hey, give me some.
And I was trying to find that damn
caramel.
12 Days of Christmas with the dogs barking. I was going to play that to bring her in today. And I
do have it open for Robin
up.
coming up for the 12 Days of Christmas. A great one. A great one.
Okay.
For all you.
Oh, like today?
For all,
today?
Yeah. It's pet related.
Oh, good.
Ooh,
all right. Well, hey, how you doing? How you doing, Robin?
I'm doing really good. Me and all my personalities and my alter egos.
Yeah. Well, now.
I'm running the fryer and the baked potato machine today.
So I know we're here to
I've been
talk
called
about.
worse. I've been called worse.
We're here to talk about our Adopt a Pet of the Week, which we'd have to do. But I was curious if you would answer our poll question today that we have at KZOZ.com. Would you be up for that?
Yes.
Okay. So take a listen to this. There's a doctor, and he's on TikTok, and he's trying to help people who are constipated. He says if you moo like a cow when you go, it will help you relieve yourself. Jeff says eating popcorn does the same thing for him. So the question today is, do you do anything? Have you ever tried breathing heavy, making animal noises, using a squatty device,
Squatty potty,
drinking caffeinated drinks, smoking something, or no? That all sounds crazy.
Well, I will say there was an event this year that they had swag. It was a coffee place, and they literally had sweatshirts, hats, beanies that said "Coffee makes me poop" with the poop emoji.
Yeah, coffee
so
is...
I think that's pretty universal.
I've heard that from people that smoke too. That people are like that. People that smoke, it does something to, I guess, relax.
Oh yes, okay. So I got a buddy. We go camping all the time. So his thing in the morning is you don't talk to him. He's actually a really nice talkative person. But in the morning, you don't talk to him until he grabs his coffee and he has his cigarette. And then you have to watch out, and you don't want to be near the bathroom because he is beelining it for the bathroom.
That's the double up right there, right? The coffee and the
as
cigarette.
soon as yeah. He starts drinking the coffee, lights that smoke, and by the time he gets done with that smoke, he's running. It's hilarious. It's like every day of his life. That's how his body clock is.
Well,
so
hey, I mean, like the health benefits from smoking cigarettes probably not great, but you know what? It keeps you regular.
Keeps your colon clean.
Yeah.
All right, so let's find out about this little Patty who's up for adoption at Woods today. What a cutie.
Yeah, we'll transition from poop to Patty.
Yes.
So Patty is our pet of the week.
Patty poops.
And I mean, she does that as well. We love Patty, and she is a special request, a special project for me, and she needs a special adopter. Patty came to us in September, part of a hoarding situation, and I've talked to you guys before. Hoarding situations are really the most challenging for dogs, and to put them in a shelter, it's pretty terrifying and frightening. She came with a group. The rest have got adopted. Patty is the last one of that group, and she is oh so sweet, but most of the time you can find her literally plastered against the concrete wall in her kennel just shaking. She is terrified. She is nervous. She hates loud noises. She doesn't know how to trust people. So it took us over a month, and it took me bringing her egg sandwiches and hamburgers and sitting with her every day for a couple weeks. And slowly but surely, she started taking treats from my hand. Then I could sneak in a little chin scratch. Then I could pick her up. Then I got to take her to my office. Last week, we got a harness on her for the first time, and she got to go out to a yard and sniff around and pee and poop and be a normal dog. So she is learning, but we're looking for that patient, quiet house, that person that wants a project dog. She's never had a chance at a real life. She's never had a normal home, a normal relationship with the person. So she's a 5-year-old Chihuahua. She really wants to be a lap dog. She's obsessed with me now that I've earned her trust. I love her so much, and she is our pet of the week. She's up on Instagram and Facebook. We're looking for a quiet, calm, patient person and maybe a secured fenced yard. That would be the best setup for a girl like Patty. And I know not everybody can adopt Patty, but everybody can share her video that we post on Instagram and Facebook. I know that adopter is out there for her, and we really would love to get her a home before the holidays. She's fee-waived to the right home, and she's a really sweet little soul.
What are people supposed to do if they suspect a hoarding situation and maybe a lot of pets. Because I know there was a story in the news recently about an apartment in Paso Robles where there were it was overrun with cats. Somebody probably had a feeling that something was not right with that place.
Sometimes people can really hide those situations. Sometimes they're out on property where there's not people around, and sometimes they're like in apartment complexes and there's neighbors that never would have guessed. But luckily in our county, we don't see a ton of those stories, but it can happen anywhere. We do usually kind of jump in and help out in other areas that sometimes find like 100 chihuahuas living in a 2-bedroom house. Like that's the kind of thing. And so Woods will take 6 or 7, and we kind of spread it out between different rescues, but they're really challenging. And sometimes in a few days they come around. Sometimes it takes months. Sometimes it takes years. So the rest have got adopted and have been doing well. But if you ever suspect something, of course, that's what your legal county animal shelter is for. You can always make a report if you're noticing something that doesn't look right. Woods is not the legal agency, so we help out with rescues and pulling dogs and helping on our end. But to report something, that's your legal county local animal shelter.
Okay, so you would just forward the call next door.
Yep. You would reach out to them. They probably have something on their website, too, where you can submit a concern, but you can call the SLO County Animal Services, which is our neighbors right next door, and always they'll go and kind of do a welfare check.
Yeah, with people we know to call the police, but with pets, I had no idea.
They're kind of the police. Mm-hmm.
I had no idea.
The police of the animal world.
I had no idea that there was even somebody that you could call. So thank you for passing that along this morning.
Yeah, you're welcome.
How do you end up with like 100 chihuahuas? Like, are you like addicted to chihuahuas? Like,
yeah.
Some people are addicted to liquor or cigarettes.
Sometimes it's like a sickness. Sometimes it's a problem. Sometimes they start with good intentions, and then 4 turns into 8, and 8 turns into 20, and then it's just, and unfortunately puppies have puppies, and then it just continues, and quite rapidly a handful of unaltered animals can turn into a mass amount of animals, and then it's kind of too far gone to ask for help or to do anything, and then it becomes a vicious cycle. So it's a really, really tough situation for cats and dogs that have been in that type of environment, because it's so not a normal, real world. Like when a leaf falls, Patty almost has a heart attack. She's just so terrified of normal things. So there's hope. She's learning. We've made a lot of progress in the last month. Like I said, she has gone out for walks, and she has fun, and she's learning to love, but it's kind of like 51st dates. Every day I get there and I kind of start the process over, and she's like, oh yeah, I love you. We can be friends. So it's the best. It's the best feeling in the world when a shy, nervous dog loves you. It's the best thing in the world. There we go.
Well, hey, we'll catch up with you next week, right?
Sounds good. Yep, you got it.
Jeff and Jeremy in the Morning podcast brought to you commercial free by another podcast. You've subscribed to ours, now subscribe to theirs. It's the SLO County Real Estate Podcast with Hal Swayze. When you're done with this, go listen to something that will actually enrich your life. California DRE 01111 911.